Welcome to the NCAA Division III New Commissioner Orientation. We would like to assist you as you transition into your new position. You are an essential component to the success of Division III, and before we get started, let's first preview what today's orientation will encompass. Today's orientation will be divided into the following section: the landscape of Division III, navigating NCAA websites, governance, Division III strategic initiatives, nominations made by Division III commissioners, championships, arbiter system, and the national office support. Now that you have a better understanding of what topics the training covers, we will move into the first section of today's orientation, the landscape of Division III. In the landscape of Division III, you will become familiar with various elements of the NCAA and Division III, including the core purposes of the NCAA, the Division III strategic platform, and facts and figures about Division III. The NCAA was founded in 1906 on the premise of protecting student athletes. Now, over 100 years later, the primary foundation of the NCAA is still the student-first philosophy. The core purpose of the NCAA is to govern competition in a safe, equitable, and sportsmanlike manner, and to integrate intercollegiate athletics into higher education so that the educational experience of the student-athlete is paramount. As an NCAA Division III commissioner, you play an essential role in the success of NCAA and Division III. Follow your passions and discover your potential. The Division III positioning statement is an essential component of the Division III Identity Initiative. The Division III Identity Initiative was launched at the 2010 NCAA Convention as a campaign to more precisely define Division III, speak with one consistent and unified voice, and recognize the power and persuasion that will come as a result, and guide, direct, and shape future decisions and actions. Furthermore, the Division III positioning platform explains how the D3 experience provides for passionate participation in a competitive athletics environment, an environment where student-athletes push themselves to excellence and build upon their academic success with new challenges and life skills. Student-athletes are encouraged to pursue the full spectrum of opportunities available during their time in college. In this way, Division III provides an integrated environment for student-athletes to take responsibility for their own paths, follow their passions, and find their potential through a comprehensive educational experience. To explore how our student-athletes are exemplifying the Division III attributes of proportion, comprehensive learning, sportsmanship, passion, responsibility, and citizenship, please visit the Division III public homepage by clicking the Division III button on ncaa.org. One of the ways Division III supports the promotion of this platform is by providing institutional and conference credit on a purchasing website, where schools and conferences can order Division III signage, clothing, and other various materials. In addition to the credit, the division also distributes kits of promotional materials to all institutions and conferences as a way to bring a consistent D3 look and feel to many of our venues. You can access the purchasing website through the Division III homepage on the membership side of ncaa.org. Division III is the NCAA's largest division, with 436 total active member institutions and 43 multi-sport conferences. Over 172,000 student-athletes participate in Division III athletics. The Division III membership is composed of 80% private institutions as compared to 20% public institutions. The highest Division III enrollment is over 22,000, while the lowest hovers around 300. On average, Division III institutions are made up of 2,625 students, with student-athletes making up 20% of the student body. In navigating the NCAA website section, you will become familiar with the functions of the public side, the membership side, and the single-source sign-on section of ncaa.org. The public side of ncaa.org provides you with a basic overview of the NCAA as well as information regarding general composition of Division III. For more in-depth information regarding the NCAA and Division III, you can access the membership side of ncaa.org. The membership side was created as a result of increased concern about data security by member institutions, conferences, and NCAA staff members. The following section will explain the public and membership side of ncaa.org, while single-source sign-on will be explained in detail in a future section. The public side of NCAA.org provides you with information regarding NCAA composition, the NCAA commitment to academics, rules compliance regarding eligibility and enforcement, student-athlete well-being, pertinent NCAA issues, championships, the latest NCAA news, and NCAA finances. NCAA.org has featured stories on its homepage on current legislation, former and current NCAA student-athletes and coaches, NCAA events, and other issues of interest to the public. The public side of NCAA.org is a great resource to find general information regarding the NCAA and Division III. Now, let's access and navigate through the membership side of NCAA.org. The membership side allows you to access NCAA websites that have detailed information pertaining to championships, governance, student-athlete programs, and the NCAA directory. Many NCAA processes can only be accessed electronically, thus having an account for the membership side will grant you access to these processes. The link to the membership side of NCAA.org can be found on the top right of the public page. To access the membership side of NCAA.org, you must have an NCAA.org account. Your NCAA.org account is composed of your conference or institutional email address ending in .edu and a password. If you have not already registered with NCAA.org, please click Register and then fill out the required fields and set your email preferences. Once you've filled out these required fields, select Submit to create your account. Once you have logged on to the membership side of NCAA.org, you will see the general homepage that contains recent happenings for each division within the NCAA. For more information on NCAA rules, policies, programs and scholarships, and SAC, you can utilize the main drop-down options. You will also see two sections at the bottom of the homepage titled My Collaboration Zones and My Application Links that allow you to access specific resources for your individual needs. You also have the ability to edit your account settings and sign up to receive emails via NCAA Connect. We highly recommend taking the time to sign up for NCAA Connect because it is the primary means for receiving email updates that will educate you on the latest divisional and association-wide information. To view and edit your account settings, select My Account in the top right-hand corner of the page. You will be taken to your NCAA member account information. To edit this information, click Edit Registration in the bottom right corner. On the Edit Registration page, you are able to update your personal information, security question, and your email preferences. By default, you are not signed up to receive notifications of content updates from NCAA.org. If you would like to receive emails from NCAA Connect, you can choose to receive all updates or you can tailor your email content to your interests. If you choose to customize your email preferences, select the button next to I want to customize my notifications from NCAA.org and more personalization options will appear below. You can choose to receive emails on a daily or a weekly basis, set the day which emails are received, and indicate which division stories you are interested in. If you select a division, a pop-up box with options will appear. Select a title and subcategories will appear below. To choose the content you would like to receive, check the box next to the desired category or categories. Click Save and Close once you have selected all of your desired categories. The NCAA directory is found on the membership side of NCAA.org. The directory includes a list of active, provisional, conference, affiliated, and reclassifying members, multi-division classifications, and the NCAA National Office staff members. The NCAA directory serves as a great resource to ensure your conference office is receiving the most up-to-date information from NCAA staff members. To ensure NCAA staff members have the most accurate and up-to-date contact information for your conference's athletic administrators, please search for your conference under the conference members. Once you have found your conference within the NCAA directory, please confirm that the name and email address are correct for each institution in your conference. If information needs to be updated or changed, please click Change Request at the top right of your screen. You can access the Division III homepage by placing your cursor over the Governance tab, then clicking on Division III under the Committee heading. On the Division III homepage, you can find information regarding governance, councils and committees, monthly governance updates, grants and internships, pilots and programs, and NCAA convention materials. An additional feature of the membership side of ncaa.org is having access to the Compliance, Waivers, and Reinstatement section. You can access the Compliance, Waivers, and Reinstatement section by placing your cursor over the Governance tab, and then selecting Compliance, Waivers, and Reinstatement. Within this section, you will find more information pertaining to the most recent Division III compliance forms, waivers, NCAA speaking engagement programs, regional rules seminars, and Division III self-studies. The next subsection of the Compliance, Waivers, and Reinstatement section is Enforcement and Infractions. Understanding your role within enforcement procedures is essential in your position as a conference commissioner. The mission of the NCAA enforcement program is to reduce violations of NCAA legislation and impose appropriate penalties if violations occurred. It is important to maintain open channels of communication with institutional personnel that handles compliance matters. It is highly recommended that institutions send reports of Level 1 violations to the NCAA enforcement staff and provide a copy to the conference office. Level 2 violations should be reported to the conference office. Once institutional reports of Level 2 violations are received, conferences should process them and forward the reports to the NCAA enforcement staff. Reports of Level 2 violations should be sent to enforcement at least once every 3 months from either the conference or the institution. Furthermore, Bylaw 3.2.4.14 requires Division III institutions to report secondary violations to the enforcement staff or submit an annual confirmation that the institution did not commit any secondary violations. Establishing a system in which institutions submit reports of Level 2 violations to a conference office will reflect positively with enforcement. In fact, self-reporting secondary violations reflects positively on institutions. The Committee on Infractions has stated that one of the ways to avoid a lack of institutional control finding is for the institution to show that it has a history of self-detecting, self-investigating, and self-reporting all potential violations. While this is not a guarantee that a lack of institutional control won't be found, it is clear that self-reporting violations is very important in showing that the institution's compliance program is engaged and operational. To explore more about Level 1 and 2 violations, please visit the Compliance, Waivers, and Reinstatement homepage. You can access information regarding secondary infractions by clicking on Secondary Infractions. In the next section, we will take a look at the Single Source Sign-On section of the membership side of ncaa.org. In the Single Source Sign-On section, you will become familiar with the functions of the Single Source Sign-On section of the membership side of ncaa.org, as well as learn about additional helpful websites. In addition to utilizing the public and membership side of ncaa.org, the NCAA has developed a single source sign-on system where you can access sports sponsorship forms, LSDBI, compliance forms, and other various applications that are not otherwise available. The single source sign-on was created to increase ease of accessing NCAA business applications through one logon and in one centralized location. Single source sign-on allows you to access NCAA business applications, forms, and programs necessary to perform your specific job function as a Division III Conference Commissioner. To access the single source sign-on applications, log into the membership side of ncaa.org and locate the My Application Links box on your homepage. The links displayed allow you to access NCAA business applications through the membership side of ncaa.org. As a Division III Conference Commissioner, your My Applications section will have links for AMA Online, LSDBI, sports sponsorship forms, and NCAA application account maintenance. First, let's explore the NCAA Applications Account Maintenance tool. As a conference commissioner, you have the ability to control access to various applications for your conference staff by utilizing the NCAA Applications Account Maintenance link under the My Applications heading. You will be taken to the Users tab by default, where you can create a new user or edit the applications your conference staff can access. To create a new user, click Create a New User in the bottom left-hand side of the Users tab. You will then be taken to the account creation screen, where you will need to enter information relevant to the account. When you have entered the information, select Create User to complete the process. If you wish to edit the applications available to a certain user, locate the account on the Users tab and click on the user's name. You will then be taken to the user's profile where you can edit the account information and assign access to various applications. To allow access to certain applications, select the application form from the drop-down menu located in the Access To toolbar. Click on the Add Application Access button to grant access to the desired application. Please note that you may need to grant your own account access to certain applications. Once the application has been added, a gray bar with its title will appear below in the Access To header. Click on the name of the desired application to see the area or areas in which separate roles and privileges need to be assigned. If you click on AMA Online under the My Applications header, you will be taken directly to AMA Online. AMA Online is a centralized case processing system where institutions and conferences submit and manage waiver and reinstatement cases, communications, and decisions. Please visit the Resources tab within AMA Online to learn more about operating and navigating AMA Online. Another application accessible via single source sign-on is LSDBI. LSDBI is a great tool for looking up Division III legislation, legislative proposals, searching major infractions cases, and legislation interpretations. Legislative interpretations are published responses to specific questions about NCAA guidelines. Unlike the NCAA printed manual, which is issued once a year, LSDBI has the advantage of being updated continuously throughout the year. Thus, it reflects the most recent changes to the legislation, staff determinations and confirmations, and approved blanket waivers. The final link you will see under the My Applications tab is a sports sponsorship form. If you click on Sports Sponsorship Form, you will be taken directly to the Sports Sponsorship Form. Sports Sponsorship Forms are made available annually at the beginning of June and are due on August 15th. The purpose of sports sponsorship forms are to inform the National Office of Conference Membership, which institutions are associated with the conference sports sponsorship, in which sports the conference holds conference competition, conference participation, which sports do the conference members sponsor and compete for a conference championship within the conference contact information, and conference office gender and ethnicity breakdown. Conference commissioners also complete the sports sponsorship and demographic form to ensure they meet all minimum requirements for Division III. Conferences are not responsible for reporting all of the sports an institution sponsors if it is not a member of their conference in a particular sport. For example, if ABC institution sponsors men's golf, but the conference does not sponsor men's golf, it is not up to the conference to report that. It is up to the institution to report it and in what conference they participate. If you have any questions about single source sign-on, please contact Web Help Desk at ncaa.org for assistance. Now that you are more familiar and comfortable navigating through the public and membership side of ncaa.org and single source sign-on, let's explore some additional websites outside of the NCAA that will assist you in your role as a Division III Conference Commissioner. These additional websites include the Division III Commissioners Association, COSIDA, and NADIA. The focal point of the Division III Commissioners Association is for the Division III commissioners to learn together and share experiences with each other. You have the opportunity to share your experiences and learn from colleagues on the Division III Commissioners Association website. By accessing their webpage, you can obtain template forms pertaining to compliance, policies, championships, and awards, as well as sign up to receive Division III Commissioners' email updates. The College Sports Information Directors of America, also known as COSIDA, is an association designed to help athletic media relations and communication professionals at all levels. As a conference commissioner, you can benefit from the many resources COSIDA has to offer. Many of the resources that can be accessed through their webpage include featured articles about communication strategies, professional development opportunities, and the COSIDA monthly newsletter. COSIDA also sponsors the Academic All-American program. The purpose of the National Association of Division III Athletic Administrators, or NADIA, is to encourage the continuation of athletics programs which focus on the student-athlete and are based on sound educational philosophy. This is accomplished through the NADIA webpage, which serves as a forum for the exchange of ideas, programs, and materials that enhance the professional growth and development of collegiate athletic administrators and provides a unifying vehicle that can serve as a resource and focus attention on issues specific to the membership of Division III of the NCAA. It is highly recommended to subscribe to the NADIA listserv. The NADIA listserv is a great resource for obtaining the most up-to-date information regarding Division III, including NCAA committee nomination requests, NCAA hot topics, tournament opportunities, and much more. By visiting the NADIA webpage, you can learn more about their professional development forums, the NCAA governance structure, and other relevant issues. Now that you have a better understanding of navigating through NCAA websites, we will move into the next section of today's orientation, Division III governance structure. In the governance section, you will become familiar with the councils and committees governing Division III. This section will provide you with an overview of the Division III governance structure, as well as information pertaining to the National SAC and Conference SAC best practices. The NCAA is a bottom-up organization where the membership actually holds all of the power in regards to legislation. The association, membership, and the NCAA national office compose the NCAA. The membership is composed of the institutions. The national office is composed of almost 500 paid employees. The association is the combination of the membership and national office working together to further propel the individual agendas of each division, conference, and institution. Division III's governing structure is composed of many committees who play a critical hand in the composition of legislation, but ultimately, 18 college presidents and chancellors compose the President's Council and have the final say on directing their institutional votes. Within Division III, full voting privileges includes one institution, one vote. Division III conferences also have voting privileges. In order to have full voting privileges within the D3 governance structure, a member conference must be composed of at least 7 institutions. The President's Council often seeks the advice of athletics administrators, student athletes, NCAA staff members, and other various Division III and association-wide committees. Although the President's Council has the final authority within a Division III governance structure, work of the Management Council and the Presidential Advisory Group is essential to the success of the association's governance structure. The Management Council is a group of 19 athletic administrators, 2 college presidents, 2 vice presidents, and 2 National Student Athlete Advisory Committee members that aid the President's Council and Executive Committee in policymaking and creating the national agenda for the division. President's Council, Management Council, and the Student Athlete Advisory Committee are only 3 examples of the committees that compose a Division III governance structure. The Presidential Advisory Group was established by the Division III President's Council to more directly and effectively engage presidents in the governance of intercollegiate athletics at the national, conference, and local levels. It ensures that every Division III conference has a presidential representative at the national level. The group focuses on key legislative proposals and policies to provide strategic guidance to Division III. Although the group does not have the same powers granted to other committees and bodies within the governance structure, the PAG is still important in shaping the Division III landscape. As a conference commissioner, you will be responsible for nominating a PAG representative from your conference. The length of a PAG term varies, ranging from 1 to 3 years, depending on a joint decision between the institutional president and the conference office. The representative should plan on attending 2 in-person meetings annually. Conferences have the ability to submit legislation. Conferences can sponsor proposed amendments to the national office by July 15th. This can be accomplished when 2 or more conferences with voting privileges have their chief elected or executive officer of the conferences submit the proposal on behalf of each conference's active member institutions. The proposal must be signed by the chair of the conference's official presidential administrative groups or at least 2 chancellors or presidents of the conference's member institutions if the conference has no presidential administrative group. Furthermore, all amendments to the Constitution and bylaws proposed by conference member institutions shall designate a primary contact person. The Division III National Student Athlete Advisory Committee, also known as SAC, is a very important component of the Division III governance structure. National SAC is a committee of 22 student athletes representing the 43 conferences and independent institutions within Division III. Each National SAC member represents not only their own conference, but also a partner conference. National SAC is designed so that each conference partners with another conference and representation rotates between the two. The representative is then responsible for communicating with the non-represented conference. 2 members of the Division III Management Council will also serve on the National SAC. National SAC representatives serve as a student-athlete voice in the Division III governance structure, providing insight on the student-athlete experience and offering input to the rules, regulations, and policies that affect student-athletes at the campus, conference, and national level. Each representative is responsible for gathering feedback and reporting it out on behalf of their conference and partner conference, as well as relaying important events, hot topics, and educational information to both the campus and conference levels. Currently, 1 representative from the Division III National SAC sits on a multitude of Division III and association-wide committees, and 2 Division III SAC members sit as voting members on the Division III Management Council, the second highest governing committee in Division III. It is through these mechanisms that the NCAA Division III student-athlete offers input to assisting and shaping the proposed legislation and other policies by which their division is governed. Since partner conferences alternate National SAC representatives, it is important to invite your partner conference's National SAC representative to your meetings and keep open channels of communication with them in order to provide your conference's feedback on proposals and hot topics within Division III. In a later section of this orientation, titled Nominations Made by Division III Commissioners, you will also be provided with information on how the process to nominate members of your conference SAC for appointment for the National SAC. To explore who your partner conference and National SAC representative is, please visit the Division III SAC homepage. To access the Division III SAC homepage, click on the SAC link under the Student Athlete Programs tab on the membership side of ncaa.org. Since National SAC representatives serve as student-athlete liaisons between the happenings on the campus, conference, and national levels, it is important to establish a strong and consistent conference SAC. Per Bylaw 3.3.4.5, each conference shall establish a student-athlete advisory committee for its member institution student-athletes. The composition and duties of the committee shall be determined by the conference. As a new commissioner, we strongly suggest that you utilize the Division III SAC's Best Practice Guide, which can be found on the Division III SAC homepage. These best practices were compiled to support conference SACs, encourage sharing of ideas and resources among conference SACs, and promote a stronger Division III student-athlete voice. The document is divided into 4 sections: communication, community outreach, and sportsmanship initiatives, SAC committee and meeting structure, and leadership opportunities. Division III strives to be a dynamic and engaging group of colleges, universities, and conferences of varying sizes and missions committed to an environment that encourages and supports diversity and inclusion, values fairness and equity, and places the highest priority on the overall educational experience of the student-athlete in the conduct of intercollegiate athletics. The mission is supported by the Strategic Initiatives Program, which was implemented by Division III Initiatives Task Force about 10 years ago. Elements of the Strategic Initiatives Program, which will be explained in greater detail during this section, include Student-Athlete Leadership Forum, Ethnic Minority and Women's Internship Grant, Strategic Alliance Matching Grant, Conduct Foul Program, Senior Women Administrator Enhancement Grant, and Conference Grant Program. The NAD3AA Partnership and Special Olympics Partnership and the FAR Institute are also a part of the Strategic Initiatives Program. However, they will be explained in greater detail in various sections of this orientation. As part of the Division III Strategic Initiatives, there are several programs that were created to provide professional development for both athletic administrators and student-athletes. These programs include the Student-Athlete Leadership Forum, the Ethnic Minority and Women's Internship Grant, the Strategic Alliance Matching Grant, and Senior Women Administrator Enhancement Grant. First, the Student-Athlete Leadership Forum engages a diverse and dynamic representation of student-athletes, coaches, faculty, and administrators to provide pertinent and customized sessions to enhance personal awareness and leadership skills needed to impact student-athlete development at the campus and conference level and beyond the collegiate realm. The Leadership Forum is held annually in one of the 4 regions, with registration open to all institutions in the host region. Each institution is permitted to register 2 student athletes for this opportunity. Registration will be based on a first-come, first-served basis. To learn more about the Student Athlete Leadership Forum, access the Student Athlete Programs tab on the membership side of ncaa.org and select Student Athlete Affairs. Next, the Ethnic Minority and Women's Internship Grant provides monetary grants for those institutions and conference offices seeking to create professional administrative opportunities for minorities and women, and to enhance diversity and inclusion within their athletics administrative staff. Division III funds 2-year ethnic minority and women's internship grants, and these grants are designated for Division III institutions and conference offices to hire a 10-month full-time individual while giving that person the opportunity for learning in administration and coaching. Finally, it is the responsibility of the institution or conference office to provide administrative supervision and mentorship as a requirement of participation. The Strategic Alliance Matching Grant provides funding for Division III institutions and conference offices to enhance gender and ethnic diversity through full-time professional positions in athletics administration. Position descriptions include significant administrative responsibilities, i.e., hiring budget, policy development, and supervision of staff. Those positions which are requesting funding should be part of the core decision-making process and have an active role on the leadership team. Each Division III institution and conference office selected to receive a matching grant will be funded for 3 years, with diminishing contributions by the NCAA. The NCAA will fund 75% of the position during the first year, 50% during the second year, and 25% during the third year. Second and third year funding of the grant is contingent upon the submittal of a year-end status report from the grant recipient and his or her institution or conference office supervisor, verifying that the position and how funds were used. Site visits will be conducted during the course of the grant. Participating NCAA Division III institutions and conference offices are required to maintain the position for a minimum of 2 years after grant fundings have been exhausted, preferably incorporating their position into their ongoing operations. All applying institutions and conference offices must express a demonstrated commitment to maintaining and continuing the position, regardless of whether or not it is funded by the NCAA. Finally, the Senior Woman Administrator Enhancement Grant was created to support professional development. This grant provides the opportunity for Division III women to attend the NCAA or NACWA Institute for Administrative Advancement and a week-long professional development experience to enhance their knowledge and understanding on intercollegiate athletics. Funding for this grant covers tuition, lodging, meals, and a portion of travel. An additional program that is supported by Division III is the Conduct Foul Program. The Conduct Foul program tracks what have been coined conduct fouls. Conduct fouls are any penalty or infraction in a course of an athletic contest that are specifically deemed unsporting or unethical by sports playing rules. This program is unique and innovative in that it provides tangible real-time data relative to sporting behavior as opposed to most research and studies that are survey of players and coaches' perceptions. Coaches are asked to report conduct fouls as defined by their sport to their athletic director. The AD reports these fouls to the conference commissioner and, as a conference commissioner, you will submit this data to the NCAA for each sport once a year. Once you have submitted your data at the end of a particular sport season, the data will be compiled with your information collected from other conferences and a report will be generated. The report you receive will show your conference compared to other conferences, but will not identify the other conferences by name. As a conference commissioner, you are most likely to work directly with the Strategic Initiatives Conference Grant Program. The Strategic Initiatives Conference Grant Program allows you to provide funding for programs that aid in the professional development of not only your institution's athletic administrators, but also student athletes. The Strategic Initiatives Grant Program is intended to encourage collaboration and involvement of all Division III constituent group representatives in the planning, decision-making, and accountability of programming to achieve the goals established in the Division's strategic plan and enhance campus and conference operations. The program offers Division III conference members and the Association of Independents the opportunity to determine at the appropriate local level how to achieve the clearly defined annual and cyclical board areas of focus. The annual grants target 3 strategic goals, or tiers. Tier 1 focuses on professional development, education, and communication, while Tier 2 builds social responsibility and integration. Lastly, Tier 3 looks to enhance the quality of the participation experience. For more information regarding the Strategic Initiatives Conference Grant Program, including an overview of the program, Q&A document, best practices guide, sample plans and forms, conference allocations, web form instructions, and key dates, please visit the Strategic Initiatives Conference Grant Program webpage. This site is a great resource containing advice on how to allocate funds in each tier, sample grant forms, and web form instructions to ensure you properly submit your grant request. The Division III National Student Athlete Advisory Committee initiated a partnership with Special Olympics at the 2011 NCAA Convention. The goal of this partnership is to improve the lives of Special Olympics athletes through their involvement with Division III student athletes and to foster a mutual learning experience between Division III student athletes and Special Olympics athletes. Furthermore, the partnership aligns with the Division III attribute of citizenship and the division's strategic positioning platform. To support this effort, Division III launched a Special Olympics website which provides a federated structure of Special Olympics organizations and best practices around the country. This provides opportunities for Division III student athletes in every state to participate in a variety of existing programs or create their own service opportunities and share their experiences with fellow student athletes. Special Olympics events will also be implemented at all NCAA Division III championships. To report your conference's involvement with Special Olympics and see what other conferences and institutions are doing, please explore the Division III Special Olympics website or submit stories and photographs to d3specialolympics@ncaa.org. The Division III Facebook page is another great way to submit your Special Olympics stories for use on ncaa.org, Champion Magazine, and Special Olympics website. The NCAA Division III Facebook page will showcase teams, highlight athletic features, publicize great community service stories, and provide Division III student athletes a unique venue to share their stories. Also, this page will provide championship coverage, Division III specific videos and photos, and interactive polls and questions. Now that you have a better understanding of Division III strategic initiatives, we will move into the next section of today's orientation, nominations made by Division III commissioners. In this section of the Division III New Commissioner Orientation, you will become familiar with the nominations made by Division III commissioners, including National SAC, FAR Fellows Institute, NCAA Woman of the Year, and Division III committees. As a Division III Conference Commissioner, you have the opportunity to submit nominations for both Division III and association-wide committees. You have the opportunity to nominate student athletes from your conference SAC or student athletes from your conference's institutions to serve on the national committee. The term of service on SAC is limited to a 3-year non-renewable term, with no more than 1 year served beyond the completion of a student athlete's eligibility. Since each SAC member represents not only their conference, but also a partner conference, it is important to maintain good rapport with your SAC representative to know when nominations are going to be accepted on behalf of your conference. Your conference and your conference's institution's athletic directors will receive an email from the national office when nominations are open for a student athlete to serve on National SAC for your conference. The email will include directions and deadlines on where you could submit nominations online. Before you submit your online nominations, please remember that in order for selections to be made, conferences should have at least 3 nominees, 1 male, 1 female, and 1 ethnic minority who represent different sports. In order to maintain a balanced representation on SAC, it is recommended that you nominate sophomores or juniors. Once your online nominations are completed, a list of conference nominees will be forwarded to you for review prior to selection by the Division III Nomination Committee. In addition to submitting nominations for SAC, as a conference commissioner, you can also submit nominations for all Division III committees. In order to submit a nomination for consideration on any D3 committee or divisional representative on an association-wide or common committee, the individual being nominated must be salaried or on a regular basis by an institution or conference in the same division or perform a regular staff function representing at least 50% of the normal workload for a staff member at that institution or conference unless otherwise specified. Unlike Division III specific committees, association-wide committees have positions allotted to each division in order to create a balanced representation. This balance is different for each association-wide committee. To explore more about committee vacancies and to see which committees are in need of representation, please visit the Committee Vacancies webpage. In addition to nominating student athletes for National SAC and colleagues for Division III and association-wide committees, you also have the opportunity to nominate student athletes for the NCAA Woman of the Year Award and the Top 8 Award. The NCAA Woman of the Year Award honors graduating female student athletes who have distinguished themselves throughout their collegiate careers in the areas of academic achievement, athletics excellence, community service, and leadership. Each institution within your conference is encouraged to honor its top graduating female student athlete with this nomination and community recognition. The nomination form is completed and submitted annually by the institution via an online process to the conference office with which the nominee's primary sport is affiliated not later than early May or an earlier deadline established by the conference office. As a conference commissioner, you are encouraged to establish a deadline that allows you ample time to submit your final selections via a web-based form to the national office by June. As you solicit your institutions for nominations, please urge your institutions to submit 2 nominations in which at least one of the nominees is a woman of color or international student athlete. All conference nominees will be forwarded to the Woman of the Year Selection Committee. The selection committee will choose the top 10 honorees in each division. From among the 30 candidates, the selection committee will determine the top 3 in each division. Finally, the members of the CWA will vote from among the top 9 finalists to determine the NCAA Woman of the Year. In addition to providing nominations for the NCAA Woman of the Year, you can also nominate student athletes for today's Top 8 Awards. The Today's Top 8 Awards provide the association with the opportunity to honor 8 outstanding senior student athletes of the preceding academic year. Nominations are due annually in August, and selections are based on the student athlete's previous athletic and academic accomplishments. As a commissioner, you can also nominate faculty athletic representatives for the Division III Faculty Athletics Representative Fellows Institute program. Division III started the Institute as a 2-year pilot in 2010 to provide a professional development resource for FARs. The components of the program provide a thorough examination of the best practices and issues surrounding the role and responsibilities of the FAR, help the FAR Fellows develop the leadership skills necessary to carry out their responsibilities on campus and in their conference, as well as strengthen the network of FARs needed to serve on the conference, divisional, and association-wide committees. To explore more about nominating FARs or for the FAR Fellows Institute, visit the FAR Fellows Institute page. To access the page from the membership side of the Division III homepage, click on the Pilots and Programs link and then select FAR Institute. In the Championship section, you will become familiar with the automatic qualification process of the Division III NCAA Championships, including the legislation on conference automatic qualification, as well as automatic qualification forms and deadlines. The pinnacle of many student athletes' collegiate athletics careers is having the opportunity to compete in NCAA championships. As a conference commissioner, you have the opportunity to provide the great memories of an NCAA championship to student athletes within your conference. In order to have one of your conference's institutions compete in NCAA championships, it is important to remain current on the legislation regarding automatic qualification, or AQ, into NCAA championship competition. The NCAA legislation that deals directly with conference automatic qualification is Bylaw 31.3.2. The Championships Committee and the Governing Sports Committees annually award automatic qualification to those conferences that meet the requirements outlined in Bylaw 31.3.2, which states a conference must have at least 7 institutions participating in one specific sport in order to receive an AQ. Each conference declares its conference institution that will serve as their AQ and only receives one AQ. How a conference determines its AQ shall be declared at the time of the AQ declaration and shall be outlined objectively. All Division III conferences eligible for AQs for future championships are required to submit their automatic declaration forms via the NCAA website. Once you have complied with Bylaw 31.3.2, you can complete these automatic declaration forms through the membership side of ncaa.org. The conference AQ forms for all championships, no matter the season, are due February 1 of each year. The following are steps to log on to the NCAA website where you can submit your automatic declaration form. Log in to the membership side of ncaa.org and hover over the Championships tab and choose Administration from the menu bar. Select the automatic qualification form under the Forms heading. Enter your username and password, which were provided in previous mailings from the NCAA Championships Department and differs from the membership login. You will be able to access and, if necessary, edit the forms at any time prior to the February 1 due date. The site will track your progress by placing a check mark next to each sport for which the information has been completed. All automatic qualification data is retained at the national office. Therefore, for previously submitted applications, the majority of questions will populate with the last year's responses. Please confirm information copied from a previous year and make adjustments if necessary. You also should have received a document with the deadlines for declaring your AQ recipients from the national office staff. These dates will change year to year and are available on the Division III Championships calendar on the membership side of ncaa.org. However, Division III has legislation specifying that conferences must submit their automatic qualifier no later than 6 p.m. local time of the competition on the date of selections. To submit your conference's automatic qualification representative to the NCAA, please access the link provided by the championship staff and enter the necessary information. You will receive a confirmation notice once the NCAA has received your information. Remember, for your conference to receive automatic qualifications, you must meet conference AQ standards as defined in Bylaw 31. You must submit your AQ form to the NCAA on time, and you must promptly report the recipient of your AQ to the national office. Arbiter Sports can be a resource for all your officiating needs. Designed to provide efficient, comprehensive, and consolidated online capabilities for assigning game officials and accessing educational services for officials. This service is widely used as a means to reduce administrative burden. Check out www.arbitersports.com for more information. NCAA Bylaw 17.29 states that member institutions shall conduct all of their intercollegiate competition in accordance with playing rules of the association in all sports for which the NCAA develops playing rules. To access NCAA sport rules manuals, hold your cursor over the Championships tab on the membership side of ncaa.org and select Rules and Officiating by Sport. Once on the next page, click on the Sports tab and then select the sport you need. Now that we've reviewed Division III Championships information, we will overview the NCAA National Office support staff for the Division III membership. In the National Office Support of Division III section of the Division III New Commissioner Orientation, you will become familiar with the various NCAA departments which support Division III. We will provide a brief overview of each department and provide you with the staff contact information in case you have specific questions. The Governance Department serves as the primary liaisons to the Division III Management Council and President's Council and advises the staff liaisons working with other D3 committees. The Governance Department also coordinates the governance activities and education sessions that occur at the annual NCAA convention, manage the division's budget, and oversees the Division III strategic plan and related strategic initiatives. The Academic and Membership Affairs Department provides legislative and interpretative support to member institutions, conducts the provisional and reclassifying membership program, administers audits for active member requirements, manages active membership education, and provides support for various Division III committees. The AMA's staff has established a conference contact program. This program is designed to maintain prompt, efficient, and effective service to the conference offices regarding NCAA rules interpretations. The program affords each conference office the ability to have individuals on the academic and membership affairs staff that the conference office can contact directly for rules interpretations assistance. Telephone calls, emails, and faxes from the conference office are given priority by the staff liaison. While it is not a requirement that conference offices establish a protocol for handling interpretative requests for its institutions, the academic and membership affairs staff members are encouraged to communicate with you or the designated compliance contact for your conference on the most efficient way to handle these requests. To provide the most timely and efficient support to the membership, it is beneficial for all parties involved that the conference office act as a filter for interpretation requests, rather than direct all individual institutions within a conference to contact its academic and membership affairs conference contact directly. You will be contacted directly by the academic and membership staff as to who your contact is. The Enforcement Department works with institutions and conferences to investigate and process secondary and major infractions. Furthermore, the Enforcement Department is designed to be a cooperative undertaking involving member institutions and conferences working together through the NCAA Improved Administration of Intercollegiate Athletics. The Communications Department assists with the advancement of the Identity Initiative in a variety of areas, including social media, media tours, and focused outreach, and produces many of the articles you read on ncaa.org and Champion Magazine. You can check out the video resources available on the Division III YouTube channel, become a fan of the Division III Facebook page, and follow the @NCAA D3 Twitter account to stay up to date on the latest Division III news. You can also join in the conversation by using the YD3 hashtag on Twitter for tweets related to the Division III identity and story. The Research Department manages all policy research related to schools. The Research Department often conducts surveys to see where the membership stands on hot issues within Division III. The Student Athlete Affairs Department provides life skill support in the areas of academics, athletics, personal development, career development, and service through the distribution of accessible resources, strategic partnerships, and customized programming at little or no expense to member institutions. Student Athlete Affairs programs, resources, and events are designed to promote the well-being and development of student athletes and to provide ongoing education and training to athletics professionals who identify and serve student athletes' needs. The Championships Department administers 89 championships in 23 sports for its member institutions. Each championship is run by a committee of coaches and administrators from NCAA member schools who are experts in their sport. Thank you for taking the time to complete the new commissioner's orientation. We appreciate the time you have taken to understand the landscape of Division III, navigating NCAA websites, single source sign-on, Division III strategic initiatives, nominations made by Division III commissioners, championships, Division III governance structure, and becoming familiar with the national office support of Division III.